to mother effing closure. Listen, we ain't got all day or all night because we got to get into the tea with Kai and Darian because this week is closure week. But before we get into it, let's talk about these other couples and their dates. But stick with me. So we all know who is going on new dates, second dates, third dates, and no dates. But the main attraction is the no dates, which is Darian, who has to meet up with Kai and lets her know that he will no longer be seeing her. And baby, the way Darian was acting with Kai, I just know Kai thought she had him wrapped around her fingers. So I am sure she would not take this good. But before that happened, let's talk about Sean and LaRonda. Listen, Sean is just getting on my nerves with these excuses of him not wanting to go on second dates because he feels like he just can't control himself with other women. Granted, he has already told us that LaRonda is the first serious relationship he has been in without cheating, and he don't want to ruin what they have by going on dates with these other women. But it's like at some point you need to man up. Because even LaRonda is like, boy, go on these dates. Shoot, she is doing it, so she is not stopping him. And I just feel like they came on the show thinking their problems with not getting married was because Sean was having financial problems or he wasn't financially stable. But now we see it's way deeper than that. And mainly, it's because he still have the mindset of a child in college in a fraternity, one of the fraternity boys. And if you watch the show, you know. Because ain't no way you're a grown-ass man and feel like you can't control yourself around other beautiful women that is not your woman. Because let's be clear, I don't care how fine a nigga is. He can't compete with my nigga, period. At all. Ain't no comparison at all. And that's just that. So Sean's excuses and the little challenges he is having with the girls is just, boy, grow up. Period. Grow up. And LaRonda, go find a man and stop playing with this boy at this point, because I'm so over it. But anyways, Sean goes on this second date with Tari, and he is just so cheesy and corny. Now, I'm saying second date because he kind of was forced to go into the second date. He didn't want to. But he is so cheesy and corny. And to him, it may be funny, but it's not. Another thing I always notice too with his dates, and also with LaRonda, she a little taller than him, but all his dates be like real taller than him. And granted, he real short. He lame too, but real short. So he just be looking so weird. But who wants to deal with that? Like, who want to deal with somebody that's short and lame and cheesy and corny and cringy? Nobody. But anyways, on this date, Sean is coming off so weird and childish. Like, this is my first time seeing him act this way. And it's to the point like where it's really cringy. So Tari asked him at one point what he wanted to eat. And he made it so awkward, talk about, that's a loaded question. What? Boy, if you don't say chicken wings and go on about your day, like, it was nothing loaded about that. Like, he tried to make it seem like she meant like eat. Anyways, they then started talking about why Tari wanted to do the process. And she expressed that she felt better knowing that she was going on a date with someone that had a girlfriend she knew about and that the girl knew about the date. Because usually she is put in situations where the guys will have a whole family back at home and they will hide it until the lie that they gave her catches up to them. And now it's like, well, damn, I done wasted all this time with you. Which I get her reasoning. It's more of an, okay, let's lay it out all on the table before we even get started. Let's see where this can go. So good for her. Even though that's sad that man out here being so trifling, you got to go the route of being okay knowing that you're going on a date with a boy with a girlfriend. That is sad. That is so sad. That's sad. But needless to say, they had a good date and she was a cool person. But in his confessional, Sean expressed how he was just over dating people. Like, he just over it. He over the process, period. And he just wants to be with LaRonda. He don't want to date LaRonda, which is okay. I love that for him. I love that for both of them. I just need him to grow up because his childish ways will be the ending of their relationship. And I can bet my last dollar on that. My last one. Now let's get into Eric and Jessica, because these two and their childish tit-for-tat ways is irking my nerves too. So we all know Eric is about to go on his second date with the girl Leilani. So when she gets to the house, she tells Eric that he did not tell her that Jessica was so beautiful. So Jessica took a note of that, like, oh, he didn't tell her I was beautiful? And she felt some type of way about it. Which I low-key understand why she felt some type of way about it, because Eric be talking about and bragging about all these girls in their couples group sessions, how these girls be also very, 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 very pretty. Well, you need to be telling these girls how very, 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 very pretty I am. Let's be consistent. So they're sitting down and doing more talking, and Jessica is basically questioning the girl down, okay? I think Jessica is all fired up and curious because, like I said, Eric was bragging on how affectionate and handsy Leilani was on him and how very, 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 very pretty she was. But I mean, Leilani was catching a shade and throwing it right back at Jessica, which was, you know, it was funny seeing them do that. It was a little entertaining. And finally, Leilani and Eric leaves. But before Eric, Jessica had them take shots. This girl had them take shots from a wine shot glass that had her pictures on it. Just so childish, but I get why she did it. I get it. So on the date, Eric talks about how he is on this date because Leilani makes him feel comfortable, makes him open up more, and that she listens to him. He went heavy on the she listens to him because we all know that Eric feels like Jessica don't like to talk or listen to him, as if she is dumb as a doorknob. Like, he really got a problem with the way Jessica interpretate or converse with him. He expresses that a lot. And I personally don't think that that's the case as far as Jessica go. I just think that Jessica may say what he don't want to hear, so he gets fed up, and I don't think that's fair. Like, if we having a conversation, this is how I feel and this is what I want to say. But anyways, he asked Leilani, did she feel any type of way about Jessica acting, how Jessica was acting at the house? And she said she don't entertain pettiness, of course. So Eric told her that Jessica was so curious of Leilani. In the hell, I would be too. The way he was bragging about her from the first date, I want to see what all the hype about, okay? My guy, what you bragging about? Let's see what it's about. So while is on his day, Jessica is getting the opportunity to have a one-on-one with Dr. Nicole, and they basically spoke on how she feels like Chris doesn't trust her. That is why he always asks her so many questions when she comes back from her dates. But Dr. Nicole told her she does the same thing to him. It may not be the same form, they act the same way towards each other. So that is when Jessica starts expressing how she has her guard up because of her getting bullied when she was younger. She basically was saying she was getting bullied for being too pretty, child. And that is why every time Eric says something to her, she'd be ready to fight and argue with him, basically being defensive because he doesn't make her feel comfortable. All I know is that they ain't ready for marriage, because who wants to be married to someone that you don't trust and you always got to be defensive towards them? That is just too much work, girl. Like, anyways, let's get into Alexia and Darian. Closer and closer. So we got to break down their conversation and then dive into the meat of this week's episode. Okay. So Alexia and Darian start having a conversation of what their vision of marriage is. And Darian's main thing is that he doesn't want to lose the fun of their relationship or lack of lust. And granted, we all been knew this because he has been saying it since day one. He said if he does get married, it will only be to make Alexia happy because he really doesn't care to. But sir, no. Like, clearly y'all marriage won't last if that's what you want off of. That's a fact. Y'all both have to want it, period. But my thing is, Alexia know he don't want it, so she just needs to let him go, let him go. You already wasted 14 years of your life. You want to waste more time with him? What? But Darian also talked about how he never seen a good representation of marriage, even though his grandma and grandpa raised him. And they were married until death do us part, but their marriage was not peaceful. He basically said they did a lot of scarring each other physically and mentally. Shoot, based off of what he said, they was toxic for each other, but they stuck to it. They stuck through it and to it. But that just goes to show you how older folk really was stuck in their ways, because they would be in a marriage that does them no justice until they passed away. But not this generation. Baby, we in and out of the marriage in a hurry and don't feel bad about it. Cause ain't nobody gonna be married and miserable. Nobody is not gonna do that. Who got time for that? That is not the move. But I think that is why it is important to wait to get married. It's literally no rush. Darian also brought up how he had other male figures around him that was getting divorces and just showing him poor examples of a marriage. And he don't want that to be him. And that is why being married is a fear of his. But Alexa, on the other hand, brought up how the people in her life were good examples of marriage and everything was positive and long-standing. So that is why she is so eager to get married, because she believes that can be her. She said she wants a family like Family Matters. Okay. And granted, that could be you. Alexia, that could be you. That could be her. But it just won't be with Darian. And that is what she needs to understand. But moving along, in his confessionals, Darian talks about there was multiple reasons he cut Kai off, but his main reason was his woman. Boy, please, that is not why you cut Kai off. But since you brought it up, let's get into it. So it is time for this closure sit down of Darian and Kai. So from the moment Kai walked in the room, she was on 10. She already was feeling disrespected because she hadn't spoken to Darian in like 10 days. And that was because he told Dr. Nicole that he didn't want to see her no more. At least that's what I thought was the reason, until Kai started letting bullets fly, okay? Kai told Darian he had plenty of opportunities to call, text, hit her up in her DMs, IG, Twitter. Baby, he had new ways to get in communication with Kai if he wanted to. So reaching out to her wasn't a problem, and giving her a heads up wasn't a problem, because there were other times he made sure he found a way to get in contact with her when Alexia wasn't around. But the thing is, I bet you Darian did not have any intentions of talking to Kai anyways. He was definitely going to ghost her once he started getting along with Alexia. But what threw me off was when Dr. Nicole made him have a sit down with Kai. But I just know he planned on avoiding the situation overall, which I am glad Dr. Nicole did that. So Kai is like, well, since y'all are so peaceful now, you and Alexa are so peaceful now, did you tell her about all the times we spent together off camera? He said no, because that ain't gonna help the situation that me and her got going on right now. You damn right it ain't, because you know you had no business doing that. You had no business going to see that damn girl if y'all wasn't on that date that was beneficial to y'all doing this process on this TV show. So your boy was out here being sneaky and tricky, and it is all catching up to your ass now, because Kai is not holding back. She is not letting this go down too easily, because her feelings hurt. You can tell her feelings is hurt. But why her feelings so hurt is the question. Let's talk about it. Kai brought up about them having sex. What? Y'all had sex? Hold on, what? Y'all, when I say I fell out, like, wait. I would think that Darian has enough dignity for himself and enough respect for Alexia to not push it that far. But you know what? It's crazy, because I expected it to be something crazy like that. I expected that from him. And all he did was prove everybody right, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people expected that for him, and he did nothing but prove us right. And it's like, he was crossing boundaries with Kai on camera. So I I just imagine the things that he was doing with her off camera. And now Kai has told us they went there. I mean, some men are just nasty, dirty. Ugh. It is clear that Darian just wanted to fuck Kai and go back to Alexia and move as he pleased. And once Alexia started cutting down on things, he wasn't able to move as freely. But Kai, I can't respect Kai either, because you knew what it was. You knew that that girl was trying to make it work with Darian. But no, you wanted to look past how he was treating her. You let him tell you sweet lies, and then you let him put his wee-wee in you, and now you mad. Typical. I need my ladies to do better. It's like, whatever he was telling Kai, she fell for it like a fool. And she thought she was gonna get something out of it. And she didn't get nothing but looking like a fool, being a fool, and fucking a fool. This whole situation was just downright disgusting and hurtful, and no one should have to deal with that in their personal life or through TV. Alexia did not deserve to be embarrassed like that. But also, the thing is, I don't think this is the first time that this has happened. And Alexia has found out, this first time that this has happened, and Alexia has found out. So it makes it hard for me to feel bad for her to put up with this BS for 14 years. It just, what? But moving on, Donna Nicole is having a talk with just the guys to see where the head is at now, since they have been in the process for a few weeks, almost a month now. So they should be getting to a point of clarity, I would think. But after what we just heard with Darian, Sean says that him and LaRona has been having difficult conversations and are coming to a realization that their relationship is more toxic than they've known, and how his emotions and sensitivity is turning her off. I don't believe that LaRona has a problem with him being emotional. I think when he uses his emotions and his sensitivity to restrict her from things is where the problems come in. And it's funny because after he said that, Donna Nicole said, that is why relationships are for grown folks. And that was a low-key shot at his childish mindset. He just ain't catch it. Sean uses his emotions like a baby crying when the baby wants something, and LaRona ain't going for it. Like, she don't care. And I think that's why he be getting mad. Now, Eric brought up the disagreements that him and Jessica have, and he admits to most of the time it starts from his attitudes, and he lacks being compassionate to her, which I am glad he knows it, but I won't take his word for it. I got to see him put in the work with Jessica. Darian, on the other hand, said there was a lot of things bothering Alexia that he didn't know about until this experience. So now they can work through them. But I just can't see myself with someone for 14 years and not know the problems that is keeping us stagnant, the problems that's keeping us stagnant. By year 6 or 7, they should have been trying to figure it out. Shoot, even year 10, because they got the time, but 14 is just crazy. And then I personally and honestly think that Alexia be knowing what's going on. Alexia know what's going on. Alexia don't care. But now she cares. Because now she probably looking crazy. She getting older. And it's time for her. She ready to settle down. And it's crazy. Crazy and unacceptable. On top of that, he brought up that Alexia told him that if they do not get engaged by the end of this process, she cut him off. You need to cut him off right now, girl. But Darian thinks her cutting him off is unfair, since they have been, recently doing the work. But Donna Nicole told him, y'all have been together for 14 years, and you have been content with y'all situation, but that don't mean she gotta be content with it. Because if she ready to go, she should leave. It's the fact that he knows that he has been wasting Alexia's time, but because he knows that, I need him to also let her go, because he feels so comfortable being affectionate and having sex with Kai, which we know Kai probably wasn't the only girl. We just using Kai because Kai's in this situation right now, but we know it had to been plenty other women, plenty. it's just no way in hell he really wants to build and grow with Alessia. It's nothing he can show, do, or prove to me that that's what he wants. Darian is a dirty dick dog, and Alessia needs to leave. It's nothing more to say or do but pack up and go. Period. I am over this episode, but I am ready for Netflix episode because I think Alessia is gonna find out, or he's gonna tell her, and she's gonna know. And I need to see what's about to happen because she, from what I seen, she was too calm for me. But that's neither here nor there.
Cheers to closure.
Y'all already know what it is. Go down below, comment your thoughts, and let's discuss. Like this video. And last but certainly not least, subscribe and join the Queen, baby. Bye.